What's up, everyone, and welcome to HBCU 101. I'm your host, the HBCU captain himself, Jaleel Thurman. And today, we have a guest whose journey from Clark Atlanta University to serial entrepreneurship is nothing short of inspiring. Please join me in welcoming my brother, my big brother, to HBCU 101, Mr. Korey Felder Sr.
What HBCU 101 is for the culture, what it is for HBCUs, is groundbreaking. We need a space that's our own. We need a space that's for us, and we need a voice. And Ja he's that voice. You know, he is who we need him to be for our city, who he is for our culture, and who he is for HBCUs worldwide.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to HBCU 101, where we sit down and we celebrate the stories, the people, the culture that make historically black colleges and universities a force in education, culture, and legacy. I'm your host, the HBCU captain himself, Jaleel Thurman. And today, we have a guest whose journey from Clark Atlanta University to serial entrepreneurship is nothing short of inspiring. He's not only a Clark Atlanta University alum, but also a co-founder and CEO of Hittsquad Entertainment, a strategic event planning, marketing, and promotions company that has been impacting the culture for over 15 years. All right, beyond that, he serves as the CEO of Gravity Hospitality, a lifestyle brand at the intersection of music, media, sports, and hospitality. And if that wasn't enough, he's also the co-owner of Tulum Kitchen Bar in Atlanta, continuing to push the city's dining and nightlife scene forward. His ventures have positioned himself as a true visionary in business, culture, and entertainment. Named one of Clark Atlanta University's 40 under 40 honorees, his work and leadership represent the best of what it means to take the HBCU experience and turn it into a legacy. Please join me in welcoming my brother, my big brother, to HBCU 101, Mr. Korey Felder Sr.
My brother, thank you for having me.
Oh,
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's up
absolutely.
with you?
Man, I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed
Yeah.
to be in this position.
Yeah.
Blessed to finally sit here.
Come on now.
Across from you. HBCU 101 is making amazing strides in what we have for historically black colleges and universities, and
Yeah.
you're at the forefront
Yeah.
of championing what that is. So I want to give you your flowers before we start anything.
Appreciate that.
So it is an honor to be here. Beyond us being friends
Yeah.
and brothers, you know, just to sit here and be a part of this, it's inspirational and it's motivational. So thank you, brother.
Hey, man, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. Now, I'm about to put you on the hot seat right quick, though.
It's cool.
All right,
It's
look,
all right.
we're
I'm
gonna
all right.
play something called I Got 5 on it. All right, we'll
okay.
choose this or that. Trauma or DJ Drama? Who you putting your 5 on?
No disrespect to Drum. I'm gonna go with Trauma.
You going Trauma?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Trauma, man. Trauma is they're both my brothers. But what Trauma has been doing lately, he's Dave Chappelle's official DJ. And we started together. In a sense of speaking, obviously he's a predecessor of mine at Clark Atlanta. So is DJ Drama.
Yeah.
And what they did for the mixtape game, what they did for the hip hop game,
Yeah.
is unmatched. But I actually got to work with Trauma a lot more than I did with Drama with the Run CAU crew, which are my big brothers, and all things alumni and homecoming.
Gotcha.
So they kind of put the ball in my hand when it comes to the alumni experience, and Trauma was a big part of that. So shout out to him. It would have to be Trauma, man. He's like no other. That's why Dave Chappelle takes him on the road.
Hey,
That's why
listen.
Oprah takes him on the road.
I ain't mad. Trauma been in some crazy rooms. We
Oh,
done
man.
talked to him. Shout out to DJ Trauma.
Shout him out.
HBC 101 alum.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, Trauma. Now, look, I'm going to keep it spicy. One more, though.
Okay.
Hosting. You got Kenny Burns. Well, you know where I'm going.
Oh, don't do it.
Yeah, I'm going there. Or Fly Guy DC.
Ooh, don't do
Who
that.
you putting your 5 on? Who you putting your 5 on?
That's rough, man. That's rough, man. And it's rough because
Nah, I don't need all that. I just need to know who you got
it's
your
the currency
5
of the
on.
room, man. It's that's not an easy one, man.
Hey.
They two different genres of person. But if I had to go hands down, man, with all due respect, it's Kenny Burns, man. It's the lifestyle specialist.
OG.
That's the OG, man.
It's an OG. It's
that
an OG.
That is my mentor for, all things
creative when it comes
Yeah,
to
okay.
the experience.
Okay,
You know what
okay.
I'm saying? Worked with him with Compound for a long time.
I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect. Hey, listen, that's OG. That's safe. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Shout out to DC though.
Come on, DC got
Shout
it
out
on
to
lock.
DC,
You
man.
know
That-
DC got it on
yeah,
lock.
yeah. He, you know,
Yeah.
it's not too much far of a gap.
Nah,
you know
it's
what I mean?
not.
So
It's not.
he's on his way, and we appreciate everything that he is.
Nah, for sure. Hey, yo, shout out to Fly Guy DC.
Absolutely.
Also, HBCU 101
Absolutely.
alum.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Clark
Now,
Atlanta.
look,
Yeah.
look, let's straight get into HBCUs, all right?
Got it. Let's do it.
Jersey,
Yeah.
Irvington, Jersey,
Absolutely.
to Atlanta, Georgia.
07111.
Now, listen, there's a lot of HBCUs from Jersey to Atlanta. I mean, Virginia State being one of them.
I apologize,
But
bro.
it's okay.
Yeah.
But why Clark Atlanta?
I'm gonna wrap it up quickly. So that wasn't the first path, to be honest with you.
Okay.
The first path was football, and it didn't work out because I honestly learned that football was a job, and it wasn't something I was ready to commit to.
Yeah.
I never had dreams of going to the NFL. I just really like the sport to this day. Everybody knows I'm a maniac when it comes to my Cowboys and some of everything else. But when it came to just what I wanted my collegiate experience to look like, my mom gave me an ultimatum. Hey, you ain't taking these offers over here. You got to go next to some family.
Okay.
So Georgia was her option. She's from Georgia. Most of my family is rooted here.
Okay.
And so I had to come down. So I had to figure it out, man. I had a trifecta. So I applied to Morehouse, I applied to Clark, and I applied to Morris Brown College.
Okay.
Morehouse wanted me to come to summer school. We got out of school maybe late May, so that means I had a month of summer. It was a no for me. I just couldn't do it. On top of the fact that I went to all-boys high school, going to all-boys college just didn't make sense to me at the time. Immature decision, but it was my decision. Then Clark Atlanta hadn't said anything to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I was on ice, didn't know what was going on there. Morris Brown welcomed me with open arms. Unfortunately, as I came down, Morris Brown lost their accreditation.
Okay.
And that was my freshman year. So I'm 17 years old, come down, thinking I'm about to have this amazing college experience. And it was amazing for what it was while it was. But, you know, in December, they told us that we were going to lose our accreditation and that school would be over in March 15th to be exact. So we had an accelerated semester. Within 2 weeks, I was taking midterms.
Okay.
They finished us out, kind of got our GPAs on the right path, and kind of spread their wings to where we would go. And I had a decision to make. Was I going to go back home, try Seton Hall, try Rutgers, or was I going to try my luck in Atlanta? Mom looked at me, gave me that look like, hey, listen, bro, you grown now. You know what I'm saying? You 18 now. I'm taking my hands off. You got to figure it out. So I asked her just to give me an apartment. I would handle the rest. So she helped me put down an apartment, went half on what that looked like, and because I've been working. And I came down and I tried to get myself in school. It just so happens to be that there was a young lady who came and saw me and tried to recruit me to come to Clark Atlanta when I was in high school.
Okay.
Shout out to Miss Camille. She is from Jersey.
Okay.
And we weren't hearing her, man. We was football dudes trying to, we going to Miami, we going to Notre Dame. We, had all the big dreams. Like, we're not going to, this random school in Atlanta. And, I remember looking at the yearbook, like, man, this joint lit. Whoa, these yearbooks don't look like the Notre Dame yearbooks and the Rutgers yearbook. Like, what is this? And understanding the culture, and I was never really exposed to the band culture, to the HBCU things. Yeah, we had Greeks, but the Greek life in Jersey at that specific time wasn't as prevalent.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it wasn't as appealing to me overall. So we ended up coming down. I'm trying to get in school, fast forward back, and I couldn't get anything done, bro. I literally saw this lady in the hallway like, hey, do you remember me from sophomore year high school? You came to my high school and tried to get me in, and blah, blah, blah. She remembered me, and I told her my issue. She was like, yo, listen, give me your name and your social, text it to me. And to this day, I have a degree from Clark Atlanta University. I don't have an acceptance letter from Clark Atlanta University. So, shout out to her, shout out to the Jersey commitment, shout out to Clark Atlanta. I always say Clark Atlanta saved my life because, that was a prayer.
Yeah.
So.
First and foremost, shout out to Miss Camille on that,
Shout out to Miss Camille.
Because
absolutely,
a lot of people don't understand, like,
Right.
that's what that's the HBCU
That is the
culture.
experience.
Like that's
100%.
You know, and it teaches you pivoting early on.
Yeah.
Like off break, how to pivot, how to navigate, network, all those things. And that's what happens with life.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know, now, okay, your experience, of course, your freshman year was interesting. Transition to your sophomore year.
Right.
What was that transition then like now, kind of like knowing, okay, we good. Like
Yeah.
your thought process isn't where am I going next, but how am I gonna now enjoy college? Like for you, what was that transition back, like, you know, back in school, sophomore year, before you get to everything else that you had going on, but like that initial transition?
Man, so it wasn't too hard because I mean the layover from the extended summer was a little difficult, but beyond that, we had spent a lot of time at all the schools. You know what I mean? Cross registration is a thing that we have in the AUC, so you could take courses at other places and in other schools. So, for instance, my senior year, I took most of my courses at Spelman, which is amazing, by the way. But we get credit for them on our degree, so towards our degree. So those were things we were exploring. We were going to different campuses, having different things. There were open mic nights, Jasmine cafes. Shout out to Jasmine's. We'd be on the promenade. So we had friends from other schools.
Right.
So and our common goal was, you know, I mean, our commonality was us being older and us being from up north.
Right.
So anybody who was from tri-state area, you know, from DMV on up, we embraced.
Yeah.
So the transition really wasn't hard. You know what I'm saying? It was really just refreshing. We felt saved more than anything, you know. And I will say that I don't talk about it a lot, but Morris Brown kind of got shunned a lot when we lost our accreditation, and it didn't sit well with a lot of people. We don't talk about it publicly a lot of times, but it wasn't a good feeling, and a lot of schools turned their backs on us. And I will say that. I won't go into who, I won't go into what, and things like that. But Clark Atlanta opened up their arms and embraced us, and Clark Atlanta saved my life, bro.
And I mean, honestly, bro, like that's how it should be. I mean, but that's family, right?
Yeah.
You know, we don't always get along sometimes.
No.
We turn it back.
Right.
Then you got some family like, you know, and that's really what it is, right? And then of course, you know, that's, you know, early 2000s.
Yeah.
You know, now you starting to transition. Times are changing, things are changing. But I'm really glad that Clark Atlanta gave you that opportunity.
Yeah.
Now you did touch on the different institutions, right?
Yes.
And I think that's probably, for someone who didn't experience that, has to be one of the more unique experiences.
For sure.
You know, like going to Virginia State is just Virginia State, right?
Yeah.
We got Union, 30 minutes up the road. A lot of HBCUs, they have other schools that might be 30 minutes up the road.
Right.
I know South Carolina State got Claflin literally right next door.
Right.
But not like the AUC, where ultimately, you know, it's 4 institutions that share a space. Now, you've touched a little bit on how y'all hopped around from class to class, can experience different things. But let's talk Greek life.
Okay.
I mean, you know, you were fortunate enough to cross Kappa Alpha Psi in undergrad.
Yeah.
You know,
Graduate, actually, grad chapter.
Oh, you crossed grad chapter?
Yeah.
Okay. See, now that's something new I knew to know.
It's all good, man. That's what we're here for. We're going to get the story straight. That's all.
So walk us through at least what Greek life is like at Clark Atlanta University, with the fact that there's all these different people that can that can cross in different chapters. And then even for you, why Kappa?
Man, I feel like this is my interview. If I'm being honest with you, it was one of the major things that shaped the HBCU experience for me.
Okay.
And the AUC experience. First and foremost, you have to understand, to your point about it being, you know, one school versus, you know, a whole bunch of schools. Every school has their own identity. And one of the first things that happens when you come down to any of the schools in AUC is they start, and I'm not going to use the word brainwash, but instituting what that embodiment of person is, who you're going to be.
Okay.
What does a Morehouse man look like? What does a Clark Atlanta University student look like? What does a Spelman woman look like? And it starts there. Morris Brown, I was fortunate to obviously have 2 of those sessions.
Right.
Morris Brown, they're rooted more so in, we're the only ones who are historically black and historically rooted in black culture by the AME Church. That is their claim to fame. Morehouse is, you know, we're the creme de la creme of what a black man should look like, whether that be the workforce or what it may have you. Spelman, very similar. You know what I mean? We're the most elite women on earth, point blank period. We're the #1 HBCU for a reason. And I'm paraphrasing these things, correct? And Clark Atlanta is, you know, we're the wild card. We're the wild card. You know what I'm saying? We're going to teach you to follow your path. We're going to teach you to find a way or make one, no matter what it is. And it leads to a lot of entrepreneurship there. I would say we're a big entrepreneur hub, especially in Atlanta. You know, Clark Atlanta influences everything. And we sit in a lot of high places and a lot of high executive boards in a lot of places. With all of that embodiment, it also goes into a Greek thing. So, you know, your Greeks at Spelman, you know, those girls don't look like, respectfully, the girls that crossed at Emory, or the girls who crossed at Lincoln, or, you know, Payne, or whatever it may be. In the same way with Morehouse guys and in Clark Atlanta University Greeks. So with that being said, that I had to give you the piece of that. So Greek life there, everybody was on the yard when I first got there. I mean, so it was almost like this culture of brotherhood and sisterhood that I had never seen. Opened my eyes up to real excellence, to see, you know, your brothers, you know, barking on the yard, and I'm like, well, what is going on? And these dudes is jumping around, and what's going on with the boots? You know what I'm saying? He got boots on with the tent, with the suit. This is crazy. And then I'll see those same guys, you know, in SGA leadership, you know, clean cut, and the code switch of it was so excellent, and it was so personal. It was a great situation, man. And I got bit by the bug early on, man. I knew that early on I was going 1911. You know, I was swaying at first. I'm gonna keep it funky. I'm gonna keep it. People don't keep it funky. I was like,
I appreciate you.
Both of them was appealing, man. And then what put me over the edge, so to speak, is there's a professor. Shout out to Ja, and he was a professor at Morris Brown College, New York guy, and we had breakfast every morning. Took me under the wing as a mentor at Morris Brown, helped me through the transition to get to Clark Atlanta University. And that one time that he mentioned he was a Noobs. There were some other organizations which I won't talk about, but those other organizations were recruiting a little bit, and that didn't feel right. That didn't match what I had saw. You know, that didn't give me the secret society feel.
I feel that.
And he didn't really do that, but he was always there. He was a mentor, and it was on some up north stuff. He wasn't coming at me like a professor. He was coming at me like a big homie. You know what I'm saying? He talks like you and I talk. And to be honest with you, bro, like he started teaching at Clark Atlanta University. I called him one day. I told him I wanted to be the Noops, and he was like, okay, cool. You know, and my path was dimming. One, for the sake of they got taken off the yard early on, and that messed up my timeline. When it came back was my senior year, and he told me there was another way, and you know, he wasn't fond of me doing it my senior year. I'll keep my reasons out of the media, but he told me there was another way, man. And I was grad chapter, and he walked me into my chapter, Stone Mountain Alumni. Told me some guys to call, so I called some guys from Tech, my friends from KT, Georgia State, and we all had a group conversation of what was best for me. And that felt great, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it went from, you know, the big homie to, you know, the lateral conversation of my peers, to my chapter brothers, and the rest is history, man. Fall 11, I was blessed enough to cross those sands on the centennial year.
Hey, first of all, Centennial was crazy. That's always a win. I ain't gonna lie. I was mad I wasn't in college a little earlier.
Yeah, it was great, man.
But nah, bro, I think that's what's always interesting, right? Yes, like your road to HBCU is one way,
right?
And then when you get there, then your new road is different, right?
Absolutely.
And then everyone isn't as fortunate, and that's the thing that I always try to tell people. I used to tell that to my neos, like, if you're fortunate to get to the other side,
correct,
it's beautiful. But I hope you're fortunate enough, because that was the same thing that was told to me.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand. And I'll be honest with you, you know, I think at least when you was there, they got snatched. But if the Bruhs was not at Virginia State, going into my freshman year, I would not have went to Virginia State. That was it. Like, it was, because to me, that maps, that was a box for me. That was this is what I want my college collegiate experience to be like. And if they're not there, I just go somewhere else. So I'm glad that you were fortunate enough to get to the other side.
Same.
Now, you talked a little bit earlier about Clark Atlanta being a hub for entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna talk your entrepreneurship journey. Okay. All right, so your joint started in undergrad. couple of the guys, couple of the fellas that came together. Started throwing little house parties. Getting a little juice. A little bit. But then y'all was trying to figure out how to go bigger and bigger. Ended up getting a phone call, say, hey, $3,500 tomorrow.
You know too much, man.
And
you know too much. You did your homework.
I do a little bit. I appreciate
this. You did your homework. There you go,
studious.
Yeah, this is,
Appreciate it. $3,500 tomorrow. Homecoming.
Yeah.
$3,500 isn't no change for some college students.
No.
But y'all put it together, and I want to say, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that might have officially for you.
Man, I first and foremost, I want to shout out my guys, Anthony, Mikkel, Ishmael, Josh, Big Mike. Well, I'm sorry, Mike Bradshaw. Shout out to Big Mike too. Kayomi. I wanted to make sure that when we started this, we had a base of guys who I trusted, who I knew would, run us over the finish line. Like I said, Josh, and that started in high school, to be honest with you. So there's a gentleman, rest in peace, by the name of DJ Korey T, and Korey had a genius idea that he would take the cool kids from each school while we were in high school and champion them. This is at a time when nobody's on flyers unless you like an artist, you know what I'm saying, or the little random cut-off girl in the bikini or whatever it may be, the placeholder. He decided to go around New Jersey and, the Essex and Union County area, and whether you was the poppin' basketball player, the cute girl, the cheerleader, you know what I'm saying, the hustler, the dude who could dance, whatever it may be, just the cute person at school, right? With the aura. And he put us all on flyers, and it increased our celebrity for one, but it made us the celebrities, and it became a rites of passage. Shout out to my OGs, Jeff Granger, Tommy Howard. Jeff Granger is Hampton elite, big HBCU bro. Elite, big bro. And those were the people who showed us the way. And inside of that, shout out to Bridget, shout out to Zeta, got a lot of people, my man Rodney. So there's a lot of people who came through that, who are, in the media, shout out to Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. So he put us in a position where we could dictate the party scene, and we were 15. We were selling $20, $30 tickets at 15. So when I came to college and I got with all these gentlemen who were from New Jersey, and by chance, shout out to Ant, we were in a position where we were familiar. My other partners, Jamal and Kamal, were triplets who came down. Other brother got a little jammed up. They came down. Brian and I played football against each other, which is another partner. In high school, at a rival high school. He came down and started playing at Clark Atlanta. Mike was dating a girl who was the friend of a friend, getting his hair braided. He's from Camden, New Jersey. Ish's older brother, Dawu, went to Morehouse already, so Ish came down. He dated the girl 2 doors down from me when I was growing up, so he came down. His best friend, Josh, came, and we met Kayomi on campus, found out he was from Jersey, too. And we made it a thing. And it so happened we had 10 guys, and Mikkel went to Morehouse, 10 guys from New Jersey who were willing to get to it. But we needed a name. We needed an understanding of what we were going to be. And I decided that Hittsquad was the best fitting thing. That it was synonymous with our journey. It was known, and it was a legacy that I wanted to keep going. So I called DJ Korey T, and he gave me the blessing to bring it down. And we were excited about that, but we didn't have an understanding of what we were going to be, what we were going to. Also a Jersey brother. So with that being said, I got a call from two people, AJ Productions and our big brother Bachi, and they told me that I could throw parties, and I was like, okay, cool. Now I had already been going to parties, had been corralling the up north crew to come and be a part of, whatever Friday, Saturday night. We walked to the front of the line. I was already working out like, yo, listen, we ain't going to be pulling out no money. I'm going to just hand you the money as we're going to all walk through. You know what I'm saying? Don't touch nobody. We ain't got no straps on us. It is what it is. And that was who we were, man. We got our own celebrity from being those up north dudes walking through like that. So it was a conversation that was really easy to have. Yeah. But he was giving me an ultimate opportunity to do homecoming at the Atrium, which was the biggest venue at the time, a super club, a mega club, if you will. 2 rooms, could fit about 4,000 people. And he gave me the number, man. He said $3,500. And the crazy part about the $3,500 was the time that he told me this. So this is like a conversation at 7 o'clock at night. Now, remember, this is 2005. Right. Banks are very scarce. There's like only 2 in the area. There's the Wells Fargo, I think it was Wachovia at the time.
Ain't no Zelle, ain't no
Cash
Cash
App.
App.
There's no Cash App. There is Western Union and the bank.
That's it.
And what you have in your pocket. And we had to figure it out. And at 7 o'clock, when I'm trying to find $3,500, by 9 a.m., because the banks are still not open,
right?
It was like, what do you do, man? We were pawning game systems, PlayStations, Xboxes.
Whatever it took.
We were calling grandma to get Western Unions. We were forfeiting our rent money. We did everything we could to get that $3,500 up, and we got it up, man. Only for him to be late 2 hours. Gave him the money, man, and the rest is history, bro. We came out of that, and we made $77,000. First party out. Yeah. That was major, Then, obviously we told him, hey, yo, don't nobody spend the money. We're gonna reinvest this and make this a thing. Man, one of these niggas bought a car. You know what I'm saying? Like it was crazy, man. Everybody had new jewelry on, new jackets. Everybody went to the mall. It was crazy.
College students, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We took 2 bricks right after that. You know what I'm saying? We had to get recalibrated to what it was and really understand what it was. And that's kind of when my marketing eye really started. And the rest is history, brother. The rest is history.
Hey, listen, that's a crazy
bro.
story. I mean, you go from 3,500 to not 35,000.
No.
70 plus,
yeah,
77.
77.
That's a, for someone who threw parties, I mean, I still throw them, but, coming out in undergrad, doing it, I understand, like, that's that fast money.
100%.
It's consistent.
Yeah.
You do right, people happen, and people don't even know what kind of money can be in it, but you got to do it right.
Yeah.
What was one of those parties that was just done right? Outside of this amazing opportunity when y'all on the next one, or the one that y'all was like, oh yeah, we did that?
At that age, or just period all throughout the career?
At that age.
Man, house party. House party was a party that we got a blessing to do from the Sigma chapter Delta. Shout out to Clark Atlanta University Deltas. Great friends of mine to this day. They did a pajama party.
Okay.
At the gym. At Morris Brown, and asked me to help them promote it and curate it. And I did, and it was cool, you know what I'm saying? We kind of got a little bit of acclaim from that. It was still their party by all means, but it was dope, you know what I'm saying? And I asked them, like, yo, y'all gonna keep doing this or what? And I kind of rebranded it after they said no. And, it was a new regime, new neos, and they wanted to do their own thing. And I thought about the movie House Party, the Pajama Jammy Jam. What would that look like at this gym if I can get everybody to walk around the corner to Morris Brown Gym to do this party? It's an ode to what I had at Morris Brown, you know what I'm saying? Like a nod to them. Thank you for everything that you've given me. It is convenient. We did it the Friday of back to school. So if they came back to school Wednesday, Friday was this party. And everybody got pajamas. And if not, Walmart's closed. And man, we passed this out and we started getting, you know, bad reviews at first. It was, administration was kind of learning about it. And they were like, yo, y'all got kids coming out here naked and pajamas. And I'm like, dang, this is going to be bad. And, you know, Jamal came to me and was like, yo, listen, that's great publicity. If administration is talking about this party, we buzzing. You know, and there's nothing but Facebook at this point. So we really had no pulse. We had 10,000 flyers, hand flyers, that we went door to door, putting them on cars for 3 days. That's all we had. And man, 3,000 people came out to that party, bro.
Come on now.
Walked around the corner in groups.
Yeah.
And by the next year, man, they were getting police escorts around the corner from Clark Atlanta Police to walk to that party. At that point, that's kind of when I knew that I had a knack for production, I had a knack for logistics and marketing. And I just kind of perfected that and kind of used that as my catalyst to who we would be, what we would do. Everybody played their part really well. That's the dope part about my brothers with the organization. They let me lead, and they all played their own roles of how we would be supported. We all call each other co-CEOs because while I'm the chief of this, that doesn't make me any better or different than Ann or any different than Ish, any different than Brian or Josh or anybody like that. And we wanted to understand that equality and wanted everybody to understand that that's who we were, and but we were running like a business though. And it worked out. It worked out, man.
And I think that's the dope part, right? One, brothers coming together, being able to work together, be equal. Understand roles is not ego. It's not a pride. It's somebody got a vision. We're gonna support this vision. And we're gonna cook. And y'all cooked. I mean, you put 3,000 in a building. That's fire. You know, but I love that because to your point, you learn marketing, you learn logistics, you understand what win, what don't work. You know what I mean? You always get your life lessons when it comes to parties, right? Because all of them don't hit.
No,
but
not at all.
But as long as you got hits, that's all that matters. That's what they remember. They remember the hits.
They remember the hits.
So let's talk about one of your hits, right? Okay. Now you've talked about these experiences, and one thing that I can appreciate about you is that money is one thing, but you always wanted people to be able to say that they partied with Korey with a K.
Man,
versus
done your homework.
Hey man,
This
appreciate
is great,
you.
brother.
Appreciate you.
This
Appreciate
is
you.
great.
Outside of the money that you made, you wanted them to really walk away with that true experience. And you've been able to do some stuff not only but from fundraisers to events. I mean, from being a special event coordinator at Morgan & Morgan to the event manager for the Ludacris Foundation, where Luda Day weekend literally had the city.
What up, Jeff? What up, Chaka?
On hold.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through what it was like working with Ludacris, Shaka, Aisha, Jeff, and the whole foundation team? And for those that might not even know what Luda Day weekend, give them a little short snippet of like what it was and why it became so like a cultural staple here in Atlanta.
I started working with DTP, Disturbing the Peace Records, at 19 years old. This is literally as soon as I really get to Clark, get my feet wet, and a gentleman by the name of Q and Malcolm, who were Clark Atlanta guys, brought me in to kind of do promo. They knew I was kind of getting my feet wet. This is before Hittsquad. They knew I had promo experience and stuff like that, man. They end up putting me in a space where I could be in front of Chaka, be in front of Jeff, be in front of Chris, and it was a dope experience, man. It was you know, trying not to be starstruck and. You know what I mean? And like, bro, is that a Bentley? Like, what? You know, it was crazy. So, you know, and it was so many crazy things happening, man. To see, you know, Kevin Liles come up to the office, to see Russell Simmons come to the office, Scarface, you know, a young David Banner, you know what I mean? To get all that early on, calling Quincy Jones' house for my boss, you know. I mean, this is, you know, you can't pay for that, right? Wow. I got that opportunity early on, and they started respecting my voice. That happened with me being able to go on tour with them, see the careers of Chingy Blossom, to go out with Bobby Valentino on the Screen Tour, get those relationships.
Yeah.
Shout out to all those guys that are all now touring again, which is great. But it gave me a voice and it gave me trust within the organization. And Luda was moving towards, a hierarchy of his brand. He had sold 3 million records. Getting noticed a lot better versus just the Atlanta guy.
Yeah.
He was getting that crossover feeling. He was featuring on everybody's stuff. Want to go platinum? Who you should get? That was really true. He was jumping on everybody's songs and taking them singles to the moon. What does that look like for the brand? And we decided that we were going to do Labor Day, no different than what Puff Daddy had did in the 90s with Bad Boy Weekend here in Atlanta, and Jack the Rapper and things like that. What's an Atlanta hub of people who can come together and show and put our best foot forward? That's what Luda Day Weekend was supposed to be. I was there when we named it. I was there when we said what we were going to do. But we wanted to make sure that we were seen and we were heard, that the South really did have something to say. And Chris was going to stand in front of that. This is when he gets in his Fast and Furious bag. And he's using these connections now that he sits in this area between him and Chaka being able to, command any room that he's in. Sure. It brought a sense of celebrity out. We were going and getting the younger talent, the young Olympian, the young Justin Gatlin before he ran that 100-meter, going to get Michael Jordan, early on, like, I'll play baseball. I don't know if I'm going to play basketball. So we changed it to softball one year. We got in a position where we wanted to bring as much talent, sung and unsung, who were friends, to the city. We were doing that at a very low cost to us. We got with Alex Gidwan, which is where my relationship starts with him.
Yeah.
And because he commanded everything on the Atlanta scene as far as venues outside of a few different places like Mansion and Line, shout out to them. And we could bring all those people to his venues. We'd start on Thursday night, do a welcome dinner, do a Friday night, Black Hollywood. Saturday is the big party, which is Chris's birthday, which is also in Labor Day weekend. And then, Sunday we do like a farewell private brunch or a pool party, depending on what year you came. And the rest is history, man. And of that, we have relationships with everywhere. It's my relationship with John Wall happened. Shout out to my brother on retirement.
Yes, sir.
When he comes out the league, Victor Oladipo, we ended up getting the year when they had the lockout, which is one of the craziest pickup games I've ever seen. You have KD, Kenyon Martin, Chris Paul. I mean, everybody's on that court. Steven Jackson. Crazy. Having a full NBA game. No more celebrities. Celebrities, y'all come out. Sub y'all out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all fun and games. You tell Vin Diesel who come sit next to me, hey, you can't play. We're gonna let the boys play. And it was a full NBA game in Morehouse's gym, and it was life changing. You know what I mean? To give that back to Clark Atlanta, give that back to Spell House, to get that back to Morris Brown, and put us in a position where we could be seen. That's where the relationship with Kevin Hart starts. We were bringing all these people, Lala, and the list goes on. Pharrell,
for sure,
a young Jacquees, anybody you could think of, and we were bringing these people. We made sure we were doing certain things. We would make sure we were having a free concert. That free concert would happen in the middle of campus. Kevin Hart's telling jokes in the middle of Clark Atlanta's campus. Neo is performing in the middle of Clark Atlanta's campus. It wasn't just about the parties. It was the philanthropy of it, which is where Jeff comes in. We giving out scholarships to kids, not book scholarships. Like, we taking care of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Them black cards is going down for a great cause.
Yeah.
And just to see that, the tutelage, you know what I'm saying? Because, Jeff went to Maryland Eastern Shore. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's a lot of synergy of what the black excellence needs to look like. And they were very, very particular on it. If you don't know anything about Jeff, Shock, and Aisha's family, they come from the struggle. They come from the Black era, the Black Panther era. So they're very conscious of what we need to look like. Yeah. So, shout out to them, man. Shout out to them being good mentors. Jeff called me 2 days ago and cursed me out because he ain't seen me. That's what that is. I'm 40 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With no problem. Like, full roast session. Because that's what it is. Like,
that's love.
That's love.
That's family. And that's what it's supposed to
Absolutely.
be. Nah, man, Luda Day weekend is different.
Man.
I didn't know what it was
Yeah.
until I first got to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And, you know, Fred came down.
Yeah. That's when our relationship starts. TJ.
Yeah, like.
Shout out to them.
And that's when I actually met Aisha. It was Luda Day weekend, I think 2019.
Yeah.
All white. It was
yeah.
at the compound.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it was, I didn't know what it was,
Yeah.
but I was like, oh.
Yeah.
This is, you know, and to been able to curate that and have a pulse.
Yeah.
And then it's a trust.
100%.
Right? People knew that if your name was on it,
Right.
the experience was gonna be there.
Yeah.
The vibes was gonna be right.
Yeah.
And they were gonna be taken care of.
So let me touch on that, man. Being a promoter, being a curator, was explained to me early on by my OGs. Shout out to Abe Watson, shout out to Alex, shout out to Kenny Burns, shout out to Prince, ATL Picks. Being a promoter is a portal. Nothing more, nothing less. They can call the club and get a table. They can go online and get tickets. But when they come to me, when they come to you, when they come to PB, they come to Ant, they come to Heem, to Big Mike, or, you know, whoever it may be who's on our team, they see them as a part of trust. I know Korey.
Yep.
So I'm going to go to Korey and put my lifestyle in his hands, and my release therapy in his hands. And that's what I've been fortunate to do 20 years this October. You know, that people have been trusting me with their release therapy. They've been trusting me with their weekends since 2005. You know what I'm saying? And Luda Day weekend has a big part of that. And once I understood that I was a portal, you know what I'm saying, I became a concierge to the city, bro. You know what I mean? You know, how can I help? How can I make this better?
Yeah.
And that's my journey now, you know what I mean, with everything I got going on with the city and, you know, just other pieces of ownership and things that I've been fortunate to do. Yeah.
Now, 20 years is crazy.
20 years is...
First and foremost,
We might
congratulations.
have to edit that out. That's crazy.
Nah, you old, man. It's all good.
That's wild.
It's all good, man.
Yeah,
but everybody can't say that they've done anything for 20 years.
20 years.
And then it's one thing to do something by yourself for 20 years, but to be for the people successfully for 20 years, had the highs, had the lows, had the in-betweens, but you've had success.
100%.
And you touched a little bit about entrepreneurship, and I think what's cool is you switch gears, right? You went from party promoter, curator, patron, into people's establishments, to ownership of your own establishment.
Yeah.
You know, now you're worrying about payroll, now you're worrying about bills, now you're being a land, like it's a lot that come with that.
Yeah.
But you had an opportunity, and you once stated that you had a blessing come, that you were able to put your friends on, and y'all birth Oak, Atlanta.
Yeah.
Now Oak was special to the city.
Man.
Now Oak was special.
R.I.P.
But what was that like for you, going from promoter to not just a nightclub, because you know y'all did day events, all types of events, but club owner in Atlanta?
Man. It was something that I didn't want. I wasn't in a space where I felt like I needed to own. At first, it didn't seem realistic to me. I mean, despite all the black excellence that's around, you know, Atlanta makes you feel like you can do anything, to be honest with you, just because you can see it everywhere. There's examples everywhere. But it wasn't on my radar. I was comfortable with what I was doing. I was making cheese, you know what I'm saying? Alex was good to me at Compound, you know, and, you know, I was making money, brother. And I ended up linking up with an old rival, Lyric McCorvey.
I didn't know you were Lyric with rivals.
Yeah, we used to. So he was me at Morehouse. You know, shout out to Envious Entertainment, Burrell, Donamichi, Hype. And they're some of my closest friends now, which is crazy. But we hated each other. Like,
Understood.
you know,
Understood.
It was like me on the
What
grass.
it was.
Yeah. But that rivalry kept out. You know what I'm saying? There was a few more. I do want to take a minute to shout out one person. He just passed away. Slim from YRD. He passed away from cardiac arrest the other day, but he was a person who actually kept me on my toes, probably more than everybody.
Gotcha.
A young kid who was super hungry and wanted to make his name, and called himself boldly young, rich, and dangerous early on. Yeah, great kid, worked at the radio station. We lost him literally like a week or two ago, so I want to shout out to him. But those rivalries is what made the AUC experience.
Okay.
It's the Morehouse versus Spellhouse.
Yeah.
I mean, Spellhouse versus Clark Atlanta. It is
Yeah.
the Qs versus the Noobs. It is, the Alphas versus the Sigmas. It is the Ks versus, the Reds. You know what I'm saying? And it's friendly, you know what I'm saying? But there's a
vibe.
one up.
Yeah.
Like I gotta do a little bit more than them. So we embodied that on the party culture, man. And me and Lyric ended up getting close. He had went and did an internship. I'm sorry. He went and did an internship at Disney World, and then worked in South Carolina and came back. Was like, I tried to trying to get my way, find my way, and a lot of people embraced him. But we had a conversation like, bro, like let's just do this together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We go stronger together, man. So we decided to get together and do some things. And early on, he put me on a party, him and Chuck from Ego. Shout out to Councilman Chuck. Hopefully we'll get him in office. He had his own company, Ego, and from a Morehouse standpoint, they decided to bring me on to Cafe Circa, and we did that for 6 years.
Okay.
So inside of that organization, inside of that, we kind of grew as friends and as business partners, and our trust grew. And man, we talked about doing this party for Super Bowl, bro. And there was a space that the owners of Cafe Circa owned. We asked them to borrow it for Super Bowl. We had some friends in that league. Another RIP, shout out to Demarius Thomas, Georgia grown kid, who wanted to do something. He was a Super Bowl champion. He wanted to do something for his NFL friends who were coming in town for Super Bowl. And he was like, bet. He would get the talent, we would get the space. And, they told us that the space was being sold. So we kind of got deflated, like, damn, where we going to do this party at? I'm, trying to call around, trying to see what's going on. And she was like, yo, you could take a meeting with him, see what he'll do. I was going out of town, I think it was on a family trip. I remember being on the beach, man. I literally remember this like yesterday, and I get a FaceTime. Now, the backstory is one of the clubs we did after the Atrium was a club called the Libra, which was on the east side, and we did that for a few years and made a lot of money. We meet all your Waka Flockas, your Travis Porters. Those were those relationships start, as far as them being young Georgia kids, and we basically did that. And one of the owners was the person who we were meeting with. I wasn't there. Lyric didn't do that. He was gone at the time. He shot my name out in the conversation, and inside of that, he was like, what? Korey with a K. Call that nigga. So they FaceTime me. I'm on the beach with my family. And, we had a conversation, and it went from borrowing this spot to being part owners of this spot. Yeah. Shout out to D-Money. He gave us an opportunity of a lifetime that nobody else had given us at the time to be owners. He said, come get stake in this versus just come do a party. Yeah. I trust you. I remember what you did when you were 21. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If that business acumen spills over to anything like this, we'll have a successful club. Yeah. And Oak Atlanta is born, man.
Oak Atlanta was a time.
Oak Atlanta is born.
And you touched on it. I wanted to get to Super Bowl, Super Bowl in Atlanta, 2019.
Crazy.
You got the hottest club in the city.
Man.
Everybody and their mama want to be in there.
Man.
Like, what was that preparation like? What was the vibes like? I mean, Oak anytime is crazy during that time. Yeah. But Super Bowl 2019 in Atlanta,
man,
Oak Atlanta is the only place you need to be.
I'm blessed because throughout my own entire career, the puzzle pieces always just come together. Mm-hmm. And they come together through relationships. If we go back to the Miss Camille thing, you know what I'm saying? That networking, that understanding, that relationship, just to talk and tell you what I need, you know what I'm saying? And people being good people, which is rare nowadays. We had an opportunity to do Luda Day weekend as our opening weekend for Oak Atlanta. So by the time Super Bowl came in February, the artists, the celebrities had already seen it, you know what I mean, or been there. So it was like, how do we double that up? So I took my celebrities, who I knew, who I had built relationships with, and called on the Freds and, hey, Fred, can you find Lala? You know what I mean? Can we get, Lori Harvey to come, or whoever these people may be. You know, Fred's making his calls to make it happen. D Money's got his own thing as far as players. Lyric's calling his players, and Demarius is making things called. We got the Von Millers over there, and then we start getting some of the big calls. They start calling us, and the first big call was Mike Gardner, man, from Headliner in Miami, and that was huge to me. I've done a lot of stuff in this city and around this country, and there are two-party promoters or curators who I believe are the biggest in the game. I've been fortunate to learn under one, which is Alex Kidwan, and the other one is Mike Gardner, who runs Live and everything else in Miami. So for him to call and have interest in our venue was major. So he brought his infrastructure and his connections on top of what we were already doing, and the Super Bowl parties were crazy, man. And you know, no homo, we got the Diddy party. You know, the Diddy party went crazy. Not too crazy.
Not too crazy.
Not too crazy.
Not too crazy.
No baby oil was involved there, but we had everything, man. Kevin Hart had a party. He had so much fun at the party. He just came the next day just because.
Yeah.
Brought some friends.
Just vibe.
And it was dope, man. And my quarterback from my favorite football team came aboard the table from me.
Okay.
You know, saw fun in games. You tell Dak Prescott the table's $10,000 in your club. He's cool, and gives it to you. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. Surreal moment.
Yeah.
Surreal moment. You know, we had Gucci, we had, literally Little John, anybody you could think of.
Anybody,
came
everybody.
to Atlanta that weekend, man.
And first and foremost, congratulations on that.
Thank you, sir.
You know, because that, everybody can't say that.
No.
And it sounds like
Yeah.
college, you did that.
Yeah.
Right after college, Little Day weekend, you did that.
Yeah.
Then Oak Atlanta, you did that.
Yeah,
right?
man.
So it just keeps getting better and
Yeah,
better. But I'm
yeah.
loving how you're pivoting from experience to experience.
Right.
So I want to talk about another experience that you've been able to also pivot
Sure.
in Atlanta.
Okay.
And that's Tulum Kitchen and Bar.
Yeah.
And you brought a little bit of Mexico.
It's my child, man. It's my baby.
You know, a little bit of that Mexico, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
to the city of
Yeah.
Atlanta, like your vision.
Yeah.
I've been there a number of times. I was there for the soft opening, all the attention to detail,
Yeah.
The dancers with the fire, the food,
Right.
the red snapper bites go crazy,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like the
yeah,
menu
yeah,
was
yeah.
handpicked, curated in a certain way. For you, like, how did all of that come together from a visionary perspective that you want to provide a great experience here in Atlanta?
Man, great question. I've always been able to have vision of what things should look like beforehand. It's part of the gift. It's part of things that's been able to keep me ahead. Being able to see a blank canvas full. I can see every detail to the people, to what people got on. I can see it, and that's God given. And that's what Tulum was, man. We actually got that opportunity from my brother Chris Berry, owner of Opium, and he brought me in to kind of right a wrong for another space that we were trying to get, that we all fumbled as a collective. And it was just like, yo, like, come, I really want to work with you. Mm-hmm. He had Club Miami back in the day. It was a rival. Him and Lyric were doing that, his team. So we were familiar. We've known each other for 20 years.
Yeah.
And we've grown in this business together, but we hadn't worked together for real. Not consistently.
Yeah.
And, we had a lateral conversation about, what it should look like. And at that same time, we also have been traveling. So there were moments where, certain brothers were in Mexico.
Okay.
The world had shut down and things like that. So, Atlanta was able to do things that a lot of places weren't. And we were in Mexico and, having that experience at different places there, seeing the hoopla and the sparklers and the fire and the flair on the cuisine, man. And I just had this idea stuck in my head, like,
Yeah.
I got to do it like a table side meal. And it just was like, people don't do that, bro. And I said, exactly. And that was the idea. How can I push the envelope of what the culinary experience is?
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to have a little experience with what Bar Vegan was. That was a space that I was able to join in with Pinky Cole and get my feet wet on the restaurant frontier. Shout out to her, shout out to Jason, shout out to Derek, shout out to Lyric. And that taught me a lot. That taught me how to run a business. That taught me structure. I always say that if you want to get in the game of restaurants, you've got to have structure and you've got to have a system.
Yeah.
It's not like the party game where you can just have some bread and, come throw it and people gonna come. It's not that easy. There's a science to it, and you gotta have some culinary people on your side.
Yeah.
It is not gonna work if you don't have no culinary people on your side. I don't care how good your brother cook. That don't make him an executive chef.
That's very
It's two
valid.
different things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Can he manage a kitchen? Can he order correctly? You know what I'm saying? Is his ordering of $15,000 in food gonna mess up your payroll? These are different things we had to figure out, and in building Tulum, these were things I learned from Bar Vegan, from the system that Pinky she made and took her to her success. And we took it over to Tulum. At the same time, Chris had his own restaurant, Sea Salt, on Howell Mill Road at the time. So he had an idea for how things should go. And we kind of just met in the middle of what that would look like. And we took that experience, that flair, and implemented. But I could not get away from this table side. I feel like we should be able to cook next to somebody's table. And they was like, yo, we gotta have lamb chops. And I'm like, everybody got lamb chops.
Everybody got lamb chops.
How are we gonna do our lamb chops?
Right.
We're gonna do them table side.
Yeah.
We're gonna walk up to you. We're gonna take that whole rack. We're gonna cut it in front of you. We're gonna season it. We're gonna finish it. We're gonna sear it, pan sear it right in front of you, and then put it on your plate.
And go crazy.
Smoking hot.
Come on.
That's what it is. We do it with lobster. We do it with tomahawks. And there's a lot more other things that we do there, man. We wanted to bring the resort style experience there. I didn't want to do a Mexican restaurant. I wanted to do a resort. You know what I mean? If you go to a resort, you can get a American cheeseburger at any resort in any country. You know what I'm saying? But you may not be able to get, fried ice cream. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or you may not have, a woman swallowing fire.
Yes.
Next to your eggs or next to your burrito. Yeah. So that was the understanding, man, of how do we go further, and that's the space that I'm in now.
Yeah. And I love it.
Thank you.
I've been, hey, look, I done brought people to Tulum.
I done be outside there.
Come on, man.
Sure.
Tulum is a vibe, but I love it. Not only because you're my brother, and it's one thing to support.
Yeah.
But then it's also on the other side of the experience.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like I actually enjoy the experience from entering, the food, the drinks, the ambiance. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's even better that you're my brother.
Thank you,
right?
Bro. Thank you, bro.
Now, earlier you've kind of talked a little bit about the city, having a post, being a concierge for the city. Yeah. Currently, right now, you're on the council for the mayor's nightlife advisory council.
Advisory council. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Right now, you're on the mayor's nightlife advisory council.
Yeah.
Can you break down what you all do and why this council is important to the city of Atlanta?
First and foremost, I want to give my stance on Atlanta. Atlanta's been very, very good to me, and my family and my friends, and I see Atlanta as an endangered species. It's very important to protect the gold that is Atlanta. The goal is what you do, what I do, what Chaka does. There's a grasp that we have on entertainment from every aspect, and it's a commodity, and it's a commodity that people are trying to take, the people that they're trying to change. With this council, I sit in meetings and listen to all of that. I listen to it from a positive and from a negative. We've got owners and operators there. We've got security guards there. We've got entertainment lawyers there. We have people from Live Nation, all who sit on this council. And it's a different point of view of what entertainment looks like for the city. Okay. Mayor Reed was the first person to see the importance of what nightlife should look like and protecting it in the city. He was a friend of nightlife. When he didn't continue his next term, he gave that operation to Keisha Lance Bottoms. Okay. Unfortunately, the city shuts down while she's in office. But I was fortunate enough to be the lone person when the city was opening back up, she put together a task force. How do we inch back into the groove that is the United States of America and Atlanta? Atlanta's opening up first. You know what I'm saying? We have the CDC here. We took calls in every week with the CDC, giving updates before the world got them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm talking to the people who are going on CNN via Zoom every other day. And it was a surreal situation, you know what I'm saying? From the people who own Waffle House to the people who own Cracker Barrel to, you know, the Cathy family from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
These are people who I'm getting to sit and get their opinion, their thoughts on how we should reconfigure what our new normal would be.
Okay.
And I was the lone person to represent nightlife there. Shout out to Keisha Lance Bottoms for putting me in that position. Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. And then from there, she passed that torch. And the very first thing that Mayor Andre Dickens did, I believe it was his very first act of business as our sitting mayor, was to create the Nightlife Advisory Council, to create a position, to have a nightmare, if you will. And he did that to protect what our goal is, and for the Super Bowl and for FIFA that was coming here, for college football championship and different things that we're able to get. Nightlife is a very big part and has been a very big part of what Atlanta's pulse has been, and that goes back beyond Freaknik. You know what I'm saying? But that's when the world got put on notice. You know what I'm saying? When the Olympics comes here. So how do we protect that commodity? And that's what we do first and foremost. We protect that from different angles. We protect it from the ownership angle. We're liaisons to what the city and what should be done through city council and legislation.
Okay.
We read legislation on a regular basis. We give our own. We meet with them specifically before they take it to council and vote on things. We give our recommendation. Our recommendation is heard in chambers.
Yeah.
And we give them perspective. We give them data. We give them, it's not just, we think we should stay open to 4 a.m. No, there's data behind that.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of things that we're trying to get ready for FIFA to put our best foot forward, because the world will be here again. We get another chance, yet another opportunity, another Super Bowl for a month, essentially, where people can come here and experience what Atlanta is. So who is that going to be? Unfortunately, when the NFL came here for Super Bowl, they didn't necessarily do us the right way, and I say that in all due respect. This is when the climate is changing. This is the Kaepernick era. This is all these things. We wanted to be included as a city and as a state in what the NFL was going to do. This is $1 billion industry coming and bringing all of these resources here. Yeah. How do we benefit from them? Not just the hotels. Like, how does that small business that you have on the corner get packed out? How do we get it so Nike comes here or Under Armour comes here and rents out your venue? Yeah. They don't know you exist. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to be in, the Westin Ballroom or the Hilton Ballroom and stuff like that. We've got spots that hold 3,000, 4,000 people. How do we get included? Yeah. And NFL tried to make it right at the very last minute. That's why you got concerts and things that, our other mayor, Jermaine Dupri and Ludacris, and, we got to curate in Centennial Olympic Park. But it was free concerts. That's cool. But if you come here again, how does my business, make $100,000 a week, because now we're on a different track? And we're trying to set everybody up for success with that, whether it be the coffee shop or whether that be the compound. And we're righting those wrongs day by day as a council, not only just for FIFA, just for the longevity. A lot of the legislation that's been written was written pre-Olympics. Yeah. So we're talking 1993, 1994. It's 2025. So a lot of those things have to change. A lot of those things have to be reconfigured. And that's what we do every day, man, on a high level scale. Yeah.
I mean, that's deep.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were locked in like that. I knew you were locked in, but I didn't know you were locked in.
Yeah, man. We want to solve problems. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In our thing, that's who we are. Yeah. We all sit in different spaces. We see things from different points of view. But when there are issues that arise with people who have any type of restaurant, bar, nightclub, or anything like that, even strip clubs, we want to address those problems.
Nah, I mean, it's needed though.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
Because the nightlife is very important in Atlanta.
100%.
Even when I travel from city to city, I'll be like, what time y'all close? Oh, it close at 2?
Yeah, yeah.
I said Atlanta, they close at 3, 4. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just a different vibe.
Yeah.
You can start your night a little later, kind of can really enjoy it a little longer.
Yeah.
So that's important.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, I want to switch gears real quick.
Go for it.
100 Black Men of Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
Why was it important for you to be a part of that organization? And what impact has it had on you personally and professionally?
Man, it is the highest honor I've ever received outside of my son being born.
Okay.
My son was born on my birthday, just to give perspective.
And he's a junior.
And he's a junior. And he is Korey with a K through and through. But my uncle was in 100 Black Men. I look up to him to this day, the way he carries himself, the way he moves in rooms, his leadership, being a manly man. Kappa, we have something we say manly, and true manliness and fidelity. Being, different pillars that we build ourselves as Kappa men. My uncle, even though he was not a noob, he embodied that. He was an HBCU guy. I mean, Fort Valley State. You know what I mean? He's the the grill master. He's everything that you could think of as the Black man and held a family and entrepreneur. So I saw that early on, and I'll never forget those moments when I was younger and we had the Atlanta Classic in the Georgia Dome, and there's 60,000 people in there screaming, Black people, and there's, bands going and stuff like that. And, they announced the curators, and all these guys walk out there in their 100 Black Men jackets, they're standing on the 50 and they waving. You see all these Black men who, he owns more Wendy's than anybody on the Northeastern Seaboard, and this guy is the executive vice president at Delta, and it's just like
different.
Black men. And going back to what Hittsquad was a rite of passage when I was in high school of some sort of acclaim. Right. When you become Greek, sometimes depending on your campus, for the most part, there's a level of hierarchy that comes with that. Like you've made it. You know what I'm saying? This was my grown man level. You've made it. I was fortunate enough to be an emerging 100 class of 2015 and got to learn the ropes. When I started, I was very rough around the edges. I was Korey with the dreads, full out Jersey kid, and it polished me into how to wear a suit the correct way, how to speak in rooms, how to show up with my business card, making sure I have a goal of meeting a certain amount of people once I'm there, how to transact with business, how to get on a golf course. What does that look like? It got me ready. And I was fortunate in this past year to be inducted into the newest class of the 100 Black Men of Atlanta with our sitting mayor, with a lot of other, distinguished gentlemen who are champion in different areas. We've got, Georgia State's football coach. We've got, vice president of this, chaplain of this, we got a Secret Service guy, we got an FBI guy, so it's a really dope situation, man. And it's humbling to sit in a room where every man who's been a sitting mayor of Atlanta has been. You know what I'm saying? Our leaders of industry, my mentor Chaka, Justin Miller, any of these gentlemen who I've looked up to, they all sit in that seat. They wear that pin, they wear that jacket, and it's an honor. And it still has philanthropy tied to it. It's not just I'm cool, right? We giving out hundreds of thousands of dollars for kids through the Emerging 100 alone. We gave out $600,000 in the past 6 years.
Oh wow!
You know what I'm saying? To little Black and brown boys and girls to go to college and to do these different things. That's the mission. You know what I'm saying? Giving back. Revitalizing who we are, and setting an example more than anything. And we're in a great position to do that. So to be called on and tapped to do that, to create the social esteem.
Because that's one thing I can say about you is that you always cared about impact.
Yes, sir.
Always cared about the culture.
Absolutely.
Always just cared about making things better, making people better. So I congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
On that, you know,
appreciate it.
because, you know, I know what it's like when you're trying to level up.
Yeah.
And for you, that was a box that's always been one that you wanted to check.
Yeah, sure.
Now let's talk about another box. You know, we also bring questions from the yard. So we always let some of our HBCU students know who our guests are going to be, right?
Nice.
So we got a questions from the yard.
Okay.
From K. Twan at Morehouse College. All right.
It's okay, Twan. How are you?
His question to you is, to be recognized by your HBCU and your peers is one of the dopest things to him.
Okay.
Because most of your peers at the university, you know, met you when you were a kid, legit trying to figure everything out. So being named one of Clark Atlanta University's 40 under 40 is a big honor. What did that recognition mean to you?
It honestly was, it was scary, bro. It was scary to be put in a light, in a place that I didn't plan to be at Clark Atlanta. You know, Clark Atlanta saved me when I didn't know I needed saving.
Yeah.
So to be put amongst, you know, 39 other individuals who are champions of their own industry, as an example, it was humbling, but it was scary. It was scary. I am grateful that I mean that much to Clark Atlanta University. It is beautiful that they felt the need to recognize me. I think all of it came full circle, man, and it gives me a sense of phone calls. Hey, my kid is coming down here. It means so much more now.
Yeah.
You know,
valid.
Fried Chicken Wednesday feels a little different now.
Come on
you know
now.
what I'm saying? And again, it's full circle, brother. Dude I used to run campus with, shout out to Coach Al. Like, he's the head coach of the basketball team and winning championships. It's things like that, man. It's a full circle moment.
Yeah.
It is saying that you took the right path.
Yep.
It is validation that I made the right choices. And it's confirmation that, man, God's still holding on. He's still holding on to me, man, and somebody is still praying for me. And it's been an honor, man. Again, what Clark Atlanta University has been to me throughout my entire career is something I speak on in every situation, in every panel, and in every room that I'm in. So for them to put me in a position where they hugged me back,
Yes.
it felt great, man, and it means a lot.
I love that, man. I don't think people really understand what it's like to really be recognized by your peers,
Man.
by your school.
Absolutely.
Like, you really trying to figure life out when you get there.
Yeah.
So for the president, for administration, for
Right.
your peers,
Yeah.
like, it's a different level of recognition. So I just want to say I'm glad that they was able to give you your flowers.
Thank you, sir.
And before we let you go, I just want to know what you got next. I know you got some stuff brewing. Real quick, let the people know, what they can expect now from Korey with a K.
I guess since we brothers,
Give it to me now.
I can
Talk to me.
I can give you a couple exclusives.
Okay,
man.
exclusive.
Well, I will say, man, we talked about Luda Day weekend.
We did.
And I might get in a little bit of trouble for this. We might need to edit this.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'm not going to say Luda Day weekend is coming back. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that my brother Ludacris is celebrating 25 years of greatness at One Music Fest. And we're going to put on a show.
Okay.
The Avengers are back together.
Okay.
We're in the war room.
Okay.
And, this is going to be special.
Heard you.
And it won't just start and stop at that show. It's going to be bigger than that.
Heard.
That's all I can say right now. That's all I can say.
I'll take it.
All right.
I'll take it.
Beyond that, man, I've got a few more projects happening. Cheese, which is going to be a breakfast spot. That's coming in about a month.
Okay.
We're about
Okay.
95% of the way.
Okay.
About to start doing some hiring and things like that.
Okay.
Menu tastings and things like that. There's been a lot of breakfast places here, but I kind of got like a little spin I'm doing. I don't
Right,
want to give them too much.
Don't give them too much.
But
I'll be there.
Yeah, it's gonna look and feel a little different. It's gonna sound a lot different
Heard you.
than everybody else.
Heard you.
Yeah. So that's next. And I bought a lounge, man. Yeah. I can't give you too much on that one.
I don't want too much.
Cause I want that one to kick people in the chest.
I don't want it.
Yeah, I want that to kick people in the chest. But that's coming.
Heard you.
That's coming, man. And and I don't say that to be braggadocious. I want it to be understood that we're setting ourselves up where we could be ready when the FIFAs and the Super Bowls come back around.
It's time.
And I urge anybody who's in the entrepreneurial stage in their life to find their way to get put in that circle. The circle of life, if you go to Lion King back in the day, right?
Okay.
It's probably one of the truest, things that I've learned, man. Sitting with Chaka and hearing some of the conversations that him and Jeff and Aisha and Chris get to have, and the people they call around the world and their perspectives, and and Chaka and Jeff, they pour into me so much, man. Like, I mean, Jeff called me and literally talked. I mean, I think he clowned me for about 20 minutes. The rest of that phone call was just pouring into me. I mean, we talk politics, we talk everything, and that that's expensive conversation, right? But that circle of life is one of the things that they've taught me. If the world is a revolution, and the revolution keeps going around, it is your job to figure out how you can get close to when the revolution comes around.
You ready?
It grabs you and it takes you in the circle. That's your goal. Hella hot water. You figure out how to get in there. And the one thing that you don't understand and that you'll never know is when it's your time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 2 Chainz talks about it all the time. I think his career didn't take off to the way that he wanted to. And he was like 38, 39, 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? He was Titty Boy for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? And I thought he was dope. Other people thought he was dope. But what he did with the 2 Chainz brand, you know what I'm saying, is colossal.
Yeah.
And he didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
But he stayed down. He stayed true to what he thought. And when it caught him, and when it was his turn, he took it and he ran with it. Kevin Hart the exact same way.
Yeah.
And there's so many other stories, right?
Yeah.
There's so many other people.
Yeah.
And I employ anybody, just, when it's your time, man, be ready.
Yeah.
Be ready. Keep working on it. There's no time to stop watching the clock. It's going to happen when it's supposed to.
Yeah.
That's the realest stuff I could tell you.
Hey, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
Big bro, I just want to say thank you.
Thank you,
I
brother.
appreciate you today, man.
Thank you, brother.
This is a full circle moment for me when
Yeah.
I first got to Atlanta, man. You really opened the arms for me, man.
Absolutely.
And I just want to say thank you for all the love that you've shown me, and the doors you've opened for me, and the rooms you put me in, and the places, and just the love, man. I appreciate that.
Man, we talk about love, man, and I wanna give you this. You and I have had personal conversations about things going on in my life and your life and things like that, and I wanna. Somebody gave me something yesterday, and I promised them that I would bring it to your show, and I'm gonna say this to you: when you write out the list of things and people you love, don't forget to put yourself. And so many times,
Yeah.
well, tell me, who's your list? Who's on your Mount Rushmore? Put yourself there first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've talked about it. I'm in the season of pouring back in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And being poured into.
Yeah.
And that's just what life is, man. From a family aspect, from a personal aspect to business, man. I've spent 20 years pouring. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure we don't lose ourselves in this.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
So,
Hey, you dropped the right
a
there.
little bit, man. A little bit. I can't take credit for that one.
Hey,
you know.
listen.
You know.
And I'm gonna lead the people with something that Korey always say:
Give me one.
be the best you,
Uh.
because everybody else is already taken. All right.
Wow.
That's it for today's episode of HBCU 101, where we celebrate the stories, the people, the culture that make HBCUs a force in education, legacy, and culture. I'm your host, Jaleel Thurman.